Hello, Awakened Creators. Amanda here, talking to you today about blank page anxiety and why the blank page is such a terrifying reality for so many creatives. Now, I say blank page for simplicity, but this could apply obviously to a blank canvas or just any kind of blank slate when you are trying to create something new that hasn't existed before and you get filled with that anxiety of, oh my God, I hope whatever that comes out of me is meeting my expectation. So let's talk about why this blank page scares us so much and what we can do about it. I want to talk to you about this subject because it's something that I deal with regularly, and in fact I'm facing currently as I record this. I have just recently been given a 4-foot by 6-foot canvas to paint in a beautiful, wonderful event that I'm very excited about, but that doesn't mean I'm not scared crapless when I look at the giant canvas that is literally taller than I am. So first and foremost, for me, in my experience, the blank page is really so scary because we're not really sure what's gonna happen with it. In other things in life, when we can plan and we can execute that plan, the outcome is generally to be expected. We know if we put 1 + 2, we're going to get 3. And so scenarios like that don't tend to produce too much anxiety because we know what to expect. But when you're creative, when you're creating something new that's never existed before, there really isn't a formula you can follow that is guaranteed to produce a particular result. Unfortunately, it doesn't usually work that way. And in my experience, when I have tried to be a little too formulaic, I really lose the heart and soul of what it is that I'm creating, which is absolutely unacceptable for an awakened creator. So, what's the alternative? Well, I want to encourage us all to really start to look at this blank page differently, right? So the way that we're looking at it right now is as a threat. And the reason it's so threatening is because we can't see what the outcome is going to be. Like walking down a path that's covered in fog and you don't quite know where it goes. Well, you don't necessarily need to know exactly where your art is going or where the path is going, so long as you are present in every moment, in every step. So let's take the path example. If I'm walking through this foggy road, the only thing that I can do is be present and aware of that moment that I'm in, right? I can sense in this moment, okay, I need to take one more step forward. Okay, now I need to take one more step forward here. Okay, and slowly, as I take each individual step in full presence, I eventually end up at whatever destination or outcome that this path was leading me down. But if before I even start walking, I am consumed with needing to know where does this path go, and I can't move forward until I know where this path goes, well, you can see how far I'll get down my path. I probably won't move at all. I'll be paralyzed by anxiety. So our creative expression and our creative journey is really gonna push us to let go of whatever preconceived notion we have of a particular outcome, or that could be not just what our art becomes, but also what it's going to do for us. Like putting this art in this show is going to produce X outcome, you know, and adding layers. That's like adding layers of anxiety and layers of expectation to our art. It's really about rejecting all of that and turning inward and really learning how to become present with the process every step of the way. Now, this requires you to start cultivating a lot of self-trust and a lot of trust in your own path as a creative, which in itself is probably a whole nother video, but you won't be able to start cultivating that trust unless you start cultivating that trust, if you know what I mean. So what I'd like to encourage myself and you to do is, rather than letting the outcome matter more than the process, we're gonna actually just focus at this one present moment. What do I need to do in this one present moment to move this project forward? In my case, that would be just even setting up the space, right? I'm not even touching the canvas yet. But the one step forward I can make on my journey, the step on that foggy path that's right in front of me, is to set up the space for the project, to gather the supplies for it, to start moving in that direction. If you're someone who gets stuck in your head a lot, I have written a whole ebook for us, because I'm included in that as well, of constantly like conceptualizing and trying to figure it out before I actually take action. And that is, a recipe for not getting very far on your journeys. So that sounds like something you need. You can check out the description box below for that. What I am going to encourage you to do is take the next right step, okay? And by step, I mean an actual action. What is the next little thing that you can do to move this project forward? And here's the thing too. When we take that next step, rather than putting so much emphasis on, well, if I do this next step, it will result in blank. That's not being in alignment with the process. You're still focused on the outcome. So we really, really need to work on being present with our creative process, being present with where we're at in that process, being present with where we are at in our skill level, being present where we are at in our creative journey. All of these things require us to be present. And when I say present, I also imply that you are accepting. You are accepting where you're at. Again, the person on the foggy road, they can not accept that they're on this road and hyper focus on the outcome, on the destination. And all that will result is anxiety, probably a breakdown mentally, and then paralyzation to where they can't move forward. So we're not going to worry about that. We're not even going to worry that, will this next step take me to that outcome? Okay, we're not even going to go that far. All we're going to focus on is, I am here. I am ready to take the next step. I'm going to be present as I take that next step. And after I take that next step, I'm going to reassess where I'm at. And then I'm going to take the next step. Okay? Because what you'll find as you start really implementing this strategy in your practice, not only will your blank page anxiety start to dissipate, and this takes practice, so don't feel like you failed if you try this presence strategy and you still have blank page anxiety. This is going to take practice. You're going to have to keep facing the blank page, keep facing the blank canvas, and keep proving to yourself that it's okay not to know. You're not going to die. You're not going to ruin your life. You're not going to get found out as a terrible artist. All you're doing is accepting where you're at right now so that you can move forward. It's actually a really loving thing for you to do for yourself, is to take those expectations off of your shoulders. So as you start practicing this, you'll find it easier and easier for you to where the next time that you see a blank page, maybe a few months of practicing this, it'll actually excite you. It will no longer bring you anxiety because you won't be so concerned with how it turns out. You'll be more concerned with all the fun you get to have discovering what it wants to become. Art is a discovery process. It is an inner discovery process as well, which is a lot of what we talk about here at Awakened Creators, is how is our creative process an inner discovery process, a spiritual path for us to learn to understand ourselves on a higher and greater level. That's what we're doing as creatives. We are not doing it to get famous or doing it to become rich or doing it to have our art in a gallery or doing it to, have influence on the world. Those things may happen. And if that's in it, if that's part of your desire of this life, those things may very well happen, but they will happen through the acceptance of where you are at right now in the process. So I want to ask you in the comments below this video, I want you to write, what is the next little thing that you can do? The next step. This is an active process. What is the next little step you can take towards the continuation of your journey with that particular project? That's how I want you to think about it. It is the continuation of your journey. You are basically just finding a step that will help you continue on your path. So what is that next thing that you can do? Share in the comments below. You will guarantee inspire your fellow Awakened Creators. I want to hear from you so that I can talk to you about it. And if you're interested in the Creative Flow for Overthinkers ebook, it is available on Amazon, Kindle. You can find the link for it in the description box below, or you can just go to Amazon and search Awakened Creators. Thank you, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with a creative friend who could benefit from today's talk. And if you're not already a part of this beautiful heart-based creative community, join us over on Instagram at awaken.creators. Thank you for watching. I love you. Bye-bye.